everyone, it's Char from Char's Fascination, as you all know. Anyway, I want to talk about something. I have my makeup on from a look that I just put on. This is not the collab look. The lip color is similar, but it's not actually the same. And the eye makeup isn't the same. So anyway, that's not why we're here. We're here and we're going to try to do this as quick as possible. A lot of people have accused me of things, right? Like, whatever. I am not related to the people that raised me. And that was kind of obvious over the years. My ex-sister-in-law slipped her Trisket recently. Actually, I think that's when my ex-mother-in-law passed away. Now, a lot of you know I'm a minister. And that's what you saw in the little icon there with me and my ministry card. Okay, so like I was saying, let's take my ex-sister-in-law for instance. And my ex-mother-in-law. Now, my ex-mother-in-law used to tell people that I died from cancer. Now, remember, karma is real. It is. That is real. And when my ex-mother-in-law told her church members that I died from cancer, later on in the year, she had to call me up and apologize to me. She was like, on the phone apologizing to me because she ended up getting cancer, and that's what she passed away from. As sad as that is, she left me an inheritance, $10,000, and a jeweled necklace, a real one. And then when my ex-father-in-law was passing away, he told me he left me $20,000. And I told both of them, like, no, you don't have to do that for me, like, honestly. And they're like, no, we want to do this because you gave birth to our first grandchildren. Both my boys and my girls, in that order, my boys and then my girls. I never kept them from their grandparents because I felt that would be the wrong thing to do, was to hurt them. I would never hurt them, right? But now let's get into the point is a lot of people that say they're Christian end up being evil. They end up having psychiatric issues, or they're just plain evil, or they have addictions and stuff. My ex-mother-in-law used to be addicted to drugs and alcohol, like prescription drugs. She accidentally took her dog's medicine one day and ended up at the hospital. That was bad. Then she went for some rehab because she was trying to take my thyroid medication, and she was drinking like a half a jug of wine with that. But yes, she said she didn't want alcohol in the house, but she had a jug of wine. You can't say that. If you're doing that, that ain't how that works. So later on, when Betty passed away, my ex-sister-in-law had assumed something that isn't true. I don't touch drugs, and I haven't touched alcohol in a very long time. And if I have had a drink, it's a drink. It's not a ton of, I don't like beer. It's not a ton of alcohol. I don't like that. You can get very sick. You can poison your body. And recently, she's been stalking me ever since her mom died. Now, mind you, she's black, and she was raised by white people. Now, they were kind to her, unlike the white people that raised me. Not nice. Not nice at all. That's why I have that scar in my earlobe. Like, whenever you see that ear, that's a reminder of the abuse that I went through. Makeup covers the scars on my face. But she's making assumptions that I've been contacting her and stalking her. Honey, you need some help because you think that I'm talking to you through mental telepathy. If you're hearing voices in your head, go get some dang help. You need to go get some help. Honestly. Because there are over 6,000 women in America with my DOB and the same name. Okay? So it's like the old lady that raised me. She slipped up one day and then I found out my real age. I have to live by the information I have. But I am not 54 years old. Excuse me. If I was, I'm fucking snatched. Plus, I found out that the old lady that raised me, because her husband, and this is how I know where I was stolen from, her husband, her first husband, I should say, came back to Oregon from Montana with bullets in his leg and an arrow. How he drove with an arrow in his leg and 3 stolen babies, I don't know. But two A negatives cannot produce an O positive RH because that in the womb would not survive. Now, if you're one blood type and a baby of another blood type shows up in your womb, then that baby has no chance of survival. Does that make any sense to you? And then when I lived in Philadelphia, and my doctors in Philly, like, they did my labs and everything, and they were testing a bunch of other stuff, and my labs came back as they call black people in America now, is African American black, okay, and then Blackfoot. And the roots of my teeth, because this one back here had to be pulled because it was broken really bad. I woke up one day and it's like, epilepsy does a job on that. When they pulled that tooth, they recognized the bottom portion, which is inside the jaw. They recognized that part of the tooth as Indigenous American. Now, our teeth are not the same. The rooted part inside is completely different according to your bloodline. So I hope that helps some people out there, because she went running to my oldest son saying, you know, she was lying. Like, honey, go get some help because I'm not speaking to you through mental telepathy. That's the alcohol speaking. I used to pull her out of underage drinking parties once she was in high school. Her and her little friend, I can't remember her name. I keep thinking Gretchen, but that's not right. But the judge's daughter and my ex-sister-in-law, when she was my sister-in-law, I used to pull them out of underage drinking parties, and a lot of times I had to pull the judge's daughter out from underneath a dude. They wouldn't have touched her if they knew she was the judge's daughter. Whoops. And we had she and I used to have a bond, right? And I trusted her at some point. But like I said, once my ex-mother-in-law died, her trust gets slipped. I don't know what happened there, but I'm going to give you a bit of advice. Do not ever give one person power of attorney and power of the estate. Don't do that. That's the worst thing you can do. Those people are shysty, and they will screw you over from one end of the earth to the other. But in the end, now remember, these are the people that claim to be Christian. They actually go out of their way to go for penance every Wednesday and Sunday, or at least every Sunday, for penance for their sins. Does that make any sort of sense? Like today when Rob and I had to run our morning errands, right? There was this lady behind me, and I was looking at her. She looked really, really sad. She only had like a couple of things. And I'm like, hey, is that all you're getting? She's like, yeah, why? I slid it over to the cashier because it was this little tiny thing and didn't cost that much. I paid for that woman's breakfast, and she broke down crying. And that's because her husband had left her and drained their bank accounts. So you see, when a person goes out of their way to be kind to other people, and this woman broke down, she gave me a hug, I gave her a hug, the cashier started crying, we were talking real quick, that's when I let her know I'm a minister, and there's always blessings when people need something to happen in their life. Like I'm looking at her and she looks so sad, and that's why I paid for that every once in a while. And I told her, pay it forward later when you can. Always pay a forward. Now this is what I do every once in a while for people. I've done this for elders and other people. So it's like, if you have to lie about people that haven't done anything wrong to you, this is how I feel. And I was talking to a friend about this. It's you reflecting what you've done wrong on other people to make yourself feel better. But now remember something. In the end, it's either as above or so below. Which way are you going? As above, so below. So which way is your soul going in the end? You should think about that before you start pointing the finger at other people and lying about them or stealing because of you saying you're such a Christian. Thou shalt not commit false witness, which means you shouldn't be lying. You should not be lying. Thou shalt not steal. Don't steal from people. Because I know she watches my videos. Don't be lying. Committing false witness is lying. And thou shalt not steal, covet, or anything of a sin, because your soul has been blemished the moment you've done that. So with that said, stay happy, stay healthy, stay positive, and as always, stay blessed. And remember, when you lie, in the end, it will tell you where your soul will rest.